Right, hello there everyone, welcome back to James Redmond TV and welcome to another video, another top 10 video where we're going to be talking about Liverpool's top 10 bargains in the Premier League era. Now, if you didn't see the last top 10 video where it's done the top 10 flops, I thought, you know what mate, we've been going through a bit of a depressing time. Let's do a bit more of an upbeat video and look back on some of the greatest signings this club has ever made. Now, of course, I've got to tell you the restrictions of the video because I feel like there's going to be a few names in the comments down below that isn't in this list and you're all going to be angry at me because of it. That being said, let me just tell you, what is the bargains that I'm looking for? Well, for example, a free signing, that counts as a bargain. Obviously, any signing that costs money, that can count as a bargain. But anyone that came through the academy, so for example, Trent Alexander-Arnold or a Steven Gerrard, they will not count as bargain signings for the simple fact that we didn't have to really pay any money for them. Just in case all the Gerrard lovers, and believe me, I'm a part of that fan group as well. I'm a fangirl for Stevie, but it's one of them things where just with the requirements, he does not make the list. But of course, our scouser in our team in Trent and the best scouser ever to play for our team in Gerrard do deserve to just have an honourable mention at the start of this video. But now with the rules and regs out the way, ladies and gentlemen, go and get a cup of tea, go and relax, and let's get right into the top 10 LFC bargains in the Premier League era. In number 10, Divock Origi, £10 million. Kicking off our list with the cult hero that is Divock Origi, signing from Lille in July 2014 after a decent showing in the World Cup from Belgium. Divock spent one further season on loan at his previous club, as that is what both Lille and Liverpool agreed upon along with the fee. Origi, when given the chance, went on to become a regular for the Reds' first team, including spells that involved goals versus Dortmund in both legs of the Europa League and versus Everton in a 4-0 win at Anfield. But this was cut short when Funes Mori put in a horrendous challenge on the then 21-year-old striker, forcing him to miss the rest of that season. This was truly the worst thing that could have happened at that exact time, as it went on to affect Origi's chances going forward of getting first team football and not getting the game time he wished. Him and the club agreed it's best he went out on loan to Wolfsburg in the German league. And after a torrid time in Germany, he returned to Merseyside and there was only brighter days ahead. Scoring last minute winners in derbies, scoring in semi-finals against the best team in the world in Barcelona, a game he only played because Salah and Firmino was injured, even going on to seal the winner in the Champions League final against Tottenham Hotspur, allowing Liverpool to lift good old big ears for the 6th time. I think it's fair to say them goals alone versus Barcelona, versus Spurs, versus Everton are worth £10 million, hence why he has made the list. Number 9, Xabi Alonso, £10.7 million. Arriving with fellow Spaniard Luis Garcia, signed by the then manager Rafa Benitez in 2004. This was to be the start of a new era for Liverpool in terms of the spine of the team, and although at the time £10.7 million was not exactly bargain money, even after the season at Liverpool, all Reds knew this was very much a bargain. Elevating performances of those around him, such as Steven Gerrard and the attackers who could feed off his scraps, even going on to win a Champions League and FA Cup in his time at Merseyside, shows he was worth every single penny. You can even argue to this day that Liverpool is still trying to replace the true class that was Xabi Alonso and haven't filled that hole since. He went on and joined Real Madrid in 2009 for £30 million and had a truly remarkable career and will forever be a Liverpool legend. Number 8, Mo Salah, £36 million. Now, every signing from this point on is under £10 million, but I don't think it would be fair to do any list that involves bargains or best signings and not include the Egyptian king. Although the record signing at the time replacing Andy Carroll, let's just say 163 goal contributions in 187 games, and every season since he's joined Liverpool, they have either been in a final or won a trophy. 44 goals in his first season for the Reds left many neutrals hating on the Egyptian winger and predicting him to be a one-season wonder. Since this, he has won a Champions League, Premier League, Super Cup, Club World Cup, 2 Golden Boots, and is the current top goal scorer in the league at the time of recording with 17 goals. When you mix expectation with value for money, you cannot deny that Mo Salah is very much deserving to be on this list, and actually could very much certainly be higher on this list amongst the Liverpool's greats. A true legend, and I don't think many people will have a problem with that argument. At number 7, Joe Gomez. 3.5 million. Joining Liverpool in 2015 from Charlton at just 18 years old, his services was needed quickly as then first choice left back Alberto Moreno was just not cutting it in the first team. Joe Gomez's debut came against Stoke City, in which he got an assist and good form but out of position. Life was going really well for the youngster and becoming a favourite among Anfield supporters. This was until his season was ended with a cruciate ligament injury when away with England's under-21s. With over a year out of action, he returned in January 2017, and due to injuries of players like Klein, he had to slot into that right-back role very nicely. And just a full season later, he is a regular starter next to Virgil van Dijk due to regularly doubtful Joel Matip and suspect Dejan Lovren, once again impressing the masses with solid, consistent performances. If it wasn't for injuries, we could be talking about England's best centre-back, especially before Stones found form. However, he has still won 4 trophies in his time on Merseyside, including good old big ears and the almighty Premier League. I think it's safe to say 3.5 million for Josephine Gomez was very much a steal. At number 6, Steve Finnan, 3.5 million. Now we move into my favourite Irish player of my lifetime. I won't do the Irish accent. In Steve Finnan. Just is a fucking G. Would always run himself into the ground and was clearly a positive impact on the squad in his time at Liverpool. Was sensational both defensively and offensively, but start to life at Anfield was rough, with his debut versus Chelsea being cut short due to injury, in which he would be disrupted with multiple setbacks that season. But in 04-05 he truly established himself as Liverpool's first choice right back. He went on to be a part of 2 Champions League finals, winning 1, and was a big part of LFC's then record of Premier League points in a campaign of 82 in the 05-06 season, and collected an FA Cup that season too. In 06-07, despite heavy competition from the new signing Alvaro Arbeloa, he was able to maintain his spot in the first team with high-level performances, and when leaving in 2008 for Espanyol, he left with admiration from all Red supporters and will forever remain a club legend, no doubt. At number 5, Pepe Reina, 6 million. Now moving into the top 5, where we start off with the almighty Pepe Reina, one of the very few world-class goalkeepers to have played for the Reds in the Premier League era, and many questioned why he was even sold in the first place, especially when his replacement was, well, Simon Mignolet. That being said, when joining from Villarreal in 05-06, he was immediately chosen ahead of Jellylegs Jerzy Dudek, as that's what Rafa favoured at the time. With an impressive first season and breaking a record that season of the most consecutive clean sheets with 8 and 11 in all competitions, Reina was well underway in his LFC career, becoming a fan favourite. He went on to win the FA Cup despite making multiple mistakes in the final, and had the least goals conceded in his first 50 games out of any goalkeeper ever to play for LFC. This was just 29 goals conceded. This record was previously held by the late great Ray Clements with 32, set in the 70-71 season. Winning an FA Cup, League Cup and reaching a UEFA Champions League final, Reina and Red supporters can look back at his time on Merseyside as positive, and have already said even possibly cut short. Sammy Hyypia, 2.5 million. Signing in May 1999, Hyypia was a pretty unknown quantity, and a fun story actually to how Liverpool noticed him. Former chief executive Peter Robertson was advised to sign him by, you'll never guess who, a TV cameraman. Expectations weren't exactly high, but he and fellow new signing Stefan Hencho formed a great partnership that season, and it started to be believed we could have just got a bargain. Well, 10 glorious years that involved in captaining the Reds to a treble, and furthermore going on to play in 2 Champions League finals, as well as another FA Cup trophy in his cabinet. It's safe to say he's probably the best centre-back we've had in the Premier League era, based on IQ and leadership, bar maybe Virgil van Dijk, and another club legend, and he could again be even higher on this list. Number 3, Andy Robertson, 8 million. Now the world's best Scottish footballer, who signed a long-term deal at Anfield after leaving his previous club, relegated Hull City, being the understudy of then first choice left-back Alberto Moreno. It was an injury to the Spaniard in December 2017 that gave the Scotsman a proper chance to prove himself. Barely any expectation, and little did we know we just signed the best left-back in the world for pennies. And with a Champions League, Premier League, Club World Cup, European Super Cup and 40 goal contributions in 161 games as a damn left back, I think we can say this was a steal. And the only reason you should be sad about Robbo being on this list is the fact he's not 1 or he's not 2. Number 2, Phil Coutinho, 8.5 million. Speaking of number 1 and 2, we have the one and only Brazilian maestro, that is Felipe Coutinho, the little magician, with 99 goal contributions in 201 games and 54 of them being goals, in which about 25% of them were outside the box. He was one of the only players, Juan Suarez left, that gave LFC that true fear factor. And to have signed him for 8.5 million and sell him on for 142 just shows how much of a bargain this was, even allowing us to invest into Alisson and Virgil van Dijk, 2 positions we very much needed to cover. And even though we never ended up winning that coveted Champions League or Premier League that was so desired, I think it's fair to say that Phil Coutinho will forever be remembered by Liverpool fans for the true class that he had on the pitch. Phil Coutinho, you are my G. Come back to Liverpool! But before we do go into number 1, let me just give a few honourable mentions. So, Didi Hamann for 8 million, Luis Garcia for 6 million, Dirk Kuyt for 9 million, John Arisa for 4 million, Gary McAllister for 3, Joel Matip for 3, Maxi Rodriguez for 3, Luis Suarez for 22.7 million, Sadio Mane for 34 million, Bobby Firmino for 29 million, Mo Salah for 36 million, JC Dudek for 4.1 million, and the one, the only Alisson and Virgil van Dijk for 65 and 75 million pounds. I had to do the honourable mentions, and you know Alisson and Virgil van Dijk had to make the list. But now, moving in at number 1, we have James Milner for 3. James Milner, what more needs to be said about the best hammers on Merseyside in James Milner? Coming to Liverpool to have a more involved role in the midfield, Milner was the exact leader the team needed at the time, especially with questions still being asked of the first team captain, Jordan Henderson. In just his second season, due to a lack of depth at left back, he was forced to move out of position for a full season, in which we realised, don't ever fucking doubt this man, that is James Milner, playing left back at a very high level, scoring multiple goals as well, with a League Cup final, Europa League final and 2 Champions League finals along with a Premier League, shows that although it was going to be hard to achieve what he did in his days at Manchester City, it's safe to say he's exceeded them expectations, and to have such a saving for free goes to show this really and truly does deserve to be number 1 on the list. So people, that is the top 10 list of Liverpool's best bargains in the Premier League era. Let me know in the comments down below whether you agree with my list. You have been showing massive support on this top 10 series. Again, I have already done a top 10 video about a week or 2 ago where we done the top 10 flops. Today was the top 10 bargains, and I'm intrigued to see what your top 10 bargains was. Leave them in the comments down below. Smash a like on this video if you did enjoy, and subscribe to become a member of the Redmond Army. People, thank you very much for watching. I hope you have a marvellous day, and I will see you all later. Peace out.